Hey you guys, and welcome to episode 2 of my favorite Gen X things on YouTube, my weekly series about all the cool videos and channels that I found this week that are perfect for those of us who grew up in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Maybe it's old commercials from the 70s, a doc from the 80s, or a made-for-TV movie from the 90s. Heck, it could be something brand new created by a Gen Xer. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Yay! So, let's get this party started. And remember, the links to all of these videos and channels are down in the video description, so give those creators a view and maybe even a like and a sub. Here we go.
And your hand could shake. You don't know. You're just like, yeah, it's almost too much. And especially if you've never, I mean, she's giving speeches, but it's a different animal.
Let's be honest, you guys. What's more difficult, being on SNL or being president? You know what I mean? It's SNL.
It's just different.
Absolutely.
If you watched Saturday Night Live religiously in the 80s and 90s like I did, then you better be listening to the Fly on the Wall podcast with Dana Carvey and David Spade. That's the audio version. They also have a video version called Superfly. And both the audio and video episodes are posted on their YouTube channel. Link in the description. Technically, both Carvey and Spade are boomers, but it was Gen X that watched these guys on SNL. They have absolutely amazing stories from their time on the show that are so much fun to listen to. And they bring on all different kinds of guests, like former SNL cast members and actors and athletes who have hosted the show and stand-up comedians, all that stuff. It's great. It's so much fun. If you need a laugh, Fly on the Wall and Superfly with Dana Carvey and David Spade is guaranteed to have you rolling. You don't want to miss this one.
From the leading edge of technology comes a new generation of video electronics from Zenith. At the touch of a button, the giant screen rises and you enjoy Space Screen 45 TV. Push a space phone button and turn your TV into a telephone. Produce a movie with your VCR and play it back on Zenith's new component TV system with stereo capability.
Falling asleep to the comforting sounds of 70s and 80s television is now easier than ever thanks to the Sleepcore videos from the channel Pics and Portraits. These videos are a montage of different commercials and television promo videos from our Gen X childhood, and you will be shocked at how familiar some of these sounds and images are. It's such a fantastic way to drift off to sleep, in my humble opinion. I give it 5 stars, highly recommend.
We move now to the eulogy portion of the service. Catherine O'Hara, of course, is a very close friend of John Candy's, an SCTV cast member, and they starred together in Home Alone.
Who am I to be standing up here talking about John Candy? I'll tell you who I am. I'm one of the millions of people whose lives were touched and enriched by the life that was John Candy. I know you all have a story. You asked him for his autograph, and he stopped to ask you about you. You auditioned for Second City, and John watched you, smiling, laughing. And though you didn't get the job, you did get to walk away thinking, what do they know? John Candy thinks I'm funny.
80s kids were so very lucky to grow up in a world with new John Candy movies every year and so many SCTV sketches. The comedy legend died in his sleep on March 4th, 1994, at the age of 43 due to a heart attack while filming the movie Wagons East. And the loss was such a big deal in his native Canada that Candy's memorial service at St. Basil's Church in Toronto was aired on national television. I included 2 links to this memorial service in this video's description. One is to the complete 1-hour-long tribute service, and the other is a 9-minute clip of the most well-known portion of that event, which was Catherine O'Hara's emotional eulogy. I admit that the quality of the video isn't the best. It's from the original broadcast 30 years ago that was recorded on a VHS tape. But honestly, the quality just doesn't matter. I'm so glad that David Cole uploaded this to YouTube so Candy's fans could watch it and pay their respects.
3, 2, 1. But so far this Christmas season, retail sales have been generally lackluster. And retailers say it'll only be after these final 2 weeks before Christmas that we should know the result. Not only whether Christmas sales are up, but maybe whether consumers have begun to turn the economy up as well. Stephen Ogg, ABC News, Washington.
This week's video from Vampire Robot, one of my favorite vintage video clip channels, is titled Sears 1982 Christmas Holiday Season. It's simply 10 minutes of B-roll from a 42-year-old news report that shows raw footage of people sampling the latest in video games and computers circa 1982, and I absolutely love it. Clips like this just warm my soul. I don't know what it is about watching old clips like this, but it's one of my favorite things. So check it out, Sears 1982 Christmas Holiday Season.
He wrote kind of a thank you letter to her publicly because he says no one signs up to be the First Lady.
Today on the show, critically acclaimed actress Penelope Ann Miller is here, and we're going to be talking about her new film, Reagan.
It's an education about our culture during those years that people don't know about.
In particular, we're looking at the political parallels from then and now.
Even after she heard he was shot, she said, you know, if you don't take me there, I'm walking.
But what's also more interesting are the things that are vastly different.
If Kennedy can talk to Khrushchev and Reagan can talk to Gorbachev, somebody better start talking to somebody.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
Keeping It Real with Jillian Michaels.
One of my favorite new podcasts is from Gen Xer and fitness guru Jillian Michaels, who most of us know from The Biggest Loser. Her new podcast is called Keeping It Real, where she has some really fascinating conversations with a variety of different people. It's kind of like the female version of Rogan in a way. It's long-form discussion about different topics with various viewpoints, and I find it incredibly interesting. The specific episode I recommend starting with is episode 10, titled The Reagan Era versus the Trump Era, Similarities, Differences in the Fight for America. In that episode, Michaels talks with actress Penelope Ann Miller, who played Nancy Reagan in the recently released film Reagan, and they discuss the eerie parallels between two of America's most iconic and controversial presidential eras. As the episode description explains, whether you're passionate about politics, a film enthusiast, or simply intrigued by the cyclical nature of history, this podcast promises an exciting journey through the evolving landscape of the U.S. political and social climates. So that's Jillian Michaels, Keeping It Real. I highly recommend it. One of the staples of being a Gen Xer, according to me, is getting absolutely ripped on weed in college and singing up the Pink Floyd album Dark Side of the Moon to the movie The Wizard of Oz. The phenomenon was called The Dark Side of Oz or The Wizard of Floyd, and in order to sync up the album and the movie just right, you had to push play on your CD player when Leo the MGM Lion roared the third time. But that's the old way of doing it. Now, thanks to YouTube, there's an already synced version that you can enjoy, so you don't have to worry about it. And if you need some backstory on this phenomenon, I also included a link to a video from Vinyl Rewind titled Dark Side of the Rainbow, The Theory Explained.